Ladies and gentlemen, in this 2021 Global Impact Conference, I must address the health context in which we are. A COVID-19 crisis that lasts for almost 2 years, a pandemic with multiple characteristics, a crisis that affected every country in the world and hurt health systems, even the most advanced, and revealed deep inequalities between our different systems. A crisis that revealed that health was the first priority that allows a society to stand. A crisis that revealed our common destiny, a crisis that makes people realize that at the heart of any production system there is a human being, and necessarily a human being in good health. In fact, the whole planet has been hit and the whole planet has been blocked. And suddenly we became aware of the interdependency of all the countries as a result of the globalization. We could have expected that a global crisis resulted in global responses in terms of solution and solidarity, leaving no country behind, in particular in the low-income countries. So what does this COVID-19 crisis represent? Is it an obstacle or an opportunity to accelerate societal transformation? Let's remember that in September 2015, 193 United Nations member states committed to implement 17 Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. It was an unprecedented action plan for people, for planet, prosperity, peace and partnerships. A deeply humanist and ambitious project to accelerate a profound transformation of our development model in a new globalized context, to stop progression of poverty, of income disparities and generally inequalities which have affected social cohesion, democracy and peace. A plan where health is a full-fledged pillar, the third one within the SDGs. In fact, the 2030 agenda has brought us into a new paradigm compared to the 2015 Millennium Goals. It takes now into account national specificities. Each country built its own strategy for sustainable development and reviews on a regular basis the progress made. 2, it introduces a new dynamic of collaboration based on a co-construction method with a diversity of stakeholders, civil society, association, private, public sector, academic, parliament, institutions. Co-construction was precisely what guided the French strategy, who was taken on by all stakeholders of the French society. More than 300 people from public and private sector worked together to draft a national roadmap, a coherent strategy that sets out the major transformations to carry out within the national territory, but also in Europe and internationally, around 6 main issues: fight against discrimination and inequalities, act for the climate, biodiversity, focus on education, act for health and well-being, with a focus on healthful and sustainable food and agriculture, make citizen participation effective to fight against territorial divide, work at an European and international level for sustainable transformation of our societies. Regarding this last issue, I would like to raise that health represents a great part of the French international action. France, historically, is committed to health issues. Let's take an example of the large contribution to the Global Fund to defeat infectious diseases and the contribution of France into the vaccine alliance. In addition, France has built its own strategy on global health, based on a cross-sectoral and concerted work with all the stakeholders of health, research, development around 4 priorities: strengthen health systems and support the countries in the establishment of a universal health coverage, strengthen health security, promote the health of populations, promote expertise, research, innovation, training. So clearly, if I go back to my question, is this COVID-19 crisis an obstacle or an opportunity? I clearly consider that this health crisis pandemic is a great opportunity for all the countries. Why? This crisis has revealed an incredible capacity of reaction as well as agility. It has been a real catalyst of innovation in terms of patient management, health promotion and education, as well as digital solutions. It is therefore time for a new deal in global health as a lever for transforming health models around the world. This is exactly this reason why an organization like Union for Global Health takes on its full meaning and its own place in the perspective of the 2030 agenda. Union for Global Health is born from cross views of former ministers of health based in France and in African countries on the health crisis. The aim is to represent a bridge between all stakeholders from the civil society, public, private, academic, sectors, institutions, authorities. Our approach is to promote a new model of co-development through innovative public-private civil society partnerships. So, if we take some example of concrete actions, if we look at a bottom-up approach, there's the Observatory of Innovative Public-Private Civil Society Partnerships on health issues. This is a new platform that supports, promotes and disseminates the best innovation in partnership by mobilizing the stakeholders in all their diversity to build the most relevant responses to protect population. This is a response to a real need of transversality to achieve Objective 3 of the Sustainable Development Goal. Another approach is the top-to-the-bottom approach, and I will take the example of the partnership that we have signed with the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. First, we help implement a digital platform to raise awareness of population on COVID-19. Second axis is to contribute to the project of building a mutualized platform for the purchase of the health product in Africa. So, we are not yet finished with the COVID-19 crisis, but we already learned a lot of lessons from the past and the current year. Health became legitimately a priority in all resilience plans all over the world. Let's bet on a co-construction approach, on solidarity to ensure these plans are effective and meet the SDGs. Don't forget, the 2030 agenda is everyone's business.